It's April 16th, 2026. It hasn't been this hot in 25 years, since 2001. It's 92 degrees in the bowl. It's going to be a hot one.
Welcome back to Episcopal High School in the Humble Bowl.
Welcome back to Bryant Field.
Court.
Live from Bocock Wrestling Cage.
I'm ready for this game. Oh,
Great
shot scores.
Here it goes up. Puts it down. He's going for the win. That kid is not getting up. Wow. Takes it almost 60 yards. Oh, man. Wow.
Wow. Oh, what a shot that child did.
She is really a dominant player. To Winnie. Oh, another goal. Another great one from Winnie Hughes.
Swing and a miss. Striking a miss. Swing and a miss.
She's going to put a shot up over the head, and she scores! Puts the soccer team on top in the second period of overtime. Back through it to a goal! The kid does it. The Maroon getting really fired up, and I can help it get fired up too, Charles.
We're going to need this. We need this energy today.
Welcome back to EHS Live. I'm Jay Sigler on your play-by-play, joined by Julia Caulfield as the analyst for today's matchup and Brady Hopkins as the sideline reporter. Julia, can you give us a brief overview of today's matchup?
You know, Episcopal enters this matchup as a structured, system-driven team built around ball movement, spacing, and disciplined execution. Final practice before the game day emphasized mental preparation over intensity, signaling confidence in conditioning, but a need to sharpen communication and design making. Key storyline for them is, can Episcopal clean up transition execution and avoid mistakes against a Bullis team with a deeper schedule and consistent competition?
Great breakdown, Julia. You know, in practice yesterday I was watching Episcopal, and they were certainly struggling a little bit with their execution and clearing, so curious to see how that'll transfer. We will step aside momentarily for the anthem.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Episcopal High School in the Humble Bowl for today's ISL Girls Varsity Lacrosse game between the Bullis School Bulldogs and the Episcopal High School Maroon. Would you please rise for the playing of our national anthem as sung by the Episcopal High School Choir?
What's up, everyone? Brady Hopkins here, field side for a major matchup between the Maroon and the Bullis Bulldogs here for a girls varsity lacrosse game. It is bright and sunny, and this game has major postseason implications. If the Maroon win this, they will remain eligible for the IAC tournament, and that is a major facet of their season. So we're all very excited here. It's going to be a great day, great broadcast, lovely weather. Excited to see how it goes. Make sure you tune in for the whole thing. Brady Hopkins, over and out.
Thank you, Brady, for that amazing breakdown there. Julia, you know, the Maroon have lost Lindley Barrier, one of their great offensive minds. She brings a lot of speed and scoring ability to this team. Several goals in these past few games. How do you think that's going to impact the Maroon's chances offensively?
I think that the Episcopal girls team is really good at managing things like that. I feel like they've had to deal with a lot of losses on this team, but they've been very good at moving past it and getting stronger. I feel like that won't be an issue for them, but I do feel like the midfield for this team is really their engine. Several players can both score and distribute, which makes Bullis unpredictable in transition. So I'm hoping that Episcopal will be prepared for that, and after their practice, I feel like we saw a lot of that.
Definitely is. I believe that is Maddie Schur will be taking the opening draw in this matchup. Actually, surprised, Lindley Barrier is back. Coming back from Baltimore today. Correction on my analysis there, is not expecting her to be back after sickness. She missed school for several days and wasn't able to practice this entire week, so curious to see how she will perform. Hopefully she'll be able to bring this offense back. And taking the opening draw for the Maroon looks to be Sydney Gray, new junior on this Maroon team. And Kincaid and Gracie Buxton just outside of the circle, the split E.
That is an amazing lineup and a super powerful midfield, so I wonder if Bullis is going to be able to overcome that. You know, I did research, though, that Bullis is built around a strong junior class, but they are not afraid to bring their younger players up.
It's going to be interesting to see as we are now underway. Kincaid in control with the ball now under heavy pressure from Bullis, and she's being swallowed up, triple teamed as she'll pass it down towards AP, and AP will bring it up top, passing it up towards the midfield line, and a brief whistle there confuses the Maroon, but they're back on track now as Maroon will continue rotating it back towards AP, and AP will now cross midfield. She'll bring it back to Kincaid, and Maroon will now settle in offensively, trying to slow down and find their rhythm after that, you know, moment of pressure where Bullis seemed to almost get a turnover.
They have a lot of strong defense communication, which I feel like is exactly what you'd expect from them. I've heard great things about this goalie, so I can't wait to see it for myself. We got some insight from Coach David.
Coming off an injury, key to this Bullis team as McCauley now with an opportunity, looking for something up top, back to Kincaid. Kincaid steps inside for a shot, but a whistle violation on...
It's going to be Episcopal's ball with Kincaid.
Could be shooting space. Kincaid now with an opportunity to shoot, or could she kick it back out towards McCauley or Lindley Barrier for a quick shot?
I'm going to predict that she is going to take the shot, or at least that's what I hope.
Kincaid now looks low and shoots middle, but it's saved by the great goalie from Bullis. And Bullis will now begin their first clear of today's matchup. Sydney Gray chasing down, Bullis player in control, but Bullis players got some speed and will get to cross the field now, across their offensive restraining line. Bullis now on offense. And how's this Maroon team shaped up defensively these past few games?
I'm really excited to see how they work, especially with this goalie. I feel like they're very good at communicating and adjusting, but it might take them a minute to really get used to this.
A lot of emphasis on having big sticks yesterday in practice, working on their slides and their defensive help. It's going to be key against this defense or this offense where they try, you know, make the man defense work, and that's what Maroon has there. You just saw a little bit of help as Bullis dived inside, and they'll take a shot on goal, but it'll go just high. Great job there from Maraid in the goal, and that's her first season in the nets for the Maroon as Bullis will take back control of the ball, and AP with some tough defense. Big sticks from the Maroon, a drive inside from Bullis, a shot opportunity goes way high, and a Maroon player is on the ground.
Claire Walsh was knocked to the ground, but she is back up, and they're playing again. Bullis with Bullis.
And Bullis still in control of this offensive possession, but the ball is checked out of the stick, and a quick, hasty shot on goal after the recovery is saved by Maraid. Great work there from the goalie on the Maroon side as she will begin to look to clear. Now, this is something the Maroon practiced yesterday a lot, and we're seeing why there. Miscommunication leads to a bad pass, and now Bullis is back in control. And yesterday in practice, they often emphasize communication and getting the ball downfield, opening space in the middle for Gracie Buxton. We didn't see it there. Coach Boylan was definitely not pleased about that.
No, and I will say, though, I feel like their communication is doing great. They're helping with each other and sliding, except they are allowing a lot of breakthroughs. But luckily, they are there to help their teammates. But I think they've got to stay on top of who they're on and still maintain that.
And a cut inside from Bullis leads to a goal in the top part of the net. Murray unable to stop that one, and that just emphasizes why the Maroon need to be able to capitalize on those defensive pushes where they get a turnover there. And we'll come to the draw now, as I believe Coach Boyle will probably have a few words for our defense, trying to keep them encouraged, as going down by 1 goal isn't the end of the world, as the Maroon are now down 1-0. 8 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Curious to see if Sydney Gray will be able to win this next face-off and possibly get the ball back on the offensive side.
I feel like we've seen this a lot, though, where it takes the girls a minute to adjust to the game. I feel like we always start off a little bit slower, but then once they get their rhythm, they're doing great.
Love to see that.
Gonna be Episcopal's ball again with Kincaid. She's a great midfield player.
Kincaid bringing it down on the offensive, or past the offensive restraining line. Call there for the ref, I believe, on Bullis, and that'll give Kincaid some room to work, as the Bullis player has to go behind her per the rules. And now Porter McCloy misses that pass, but it's rotated out towards, I believe, Ella Kim, if I'm not mistaken, and now pass towards Lindley. Lindley, who was like very deathly sick earlier this week, could affect her ability to run and have stamina in this game. It was COVID-19, if I'm not mistaken, and that has a lot of impact on your respiratory system. Curious to see how she'll be able to work through that adversity in this game, as Porter is now in control and will toss it up top back to Ella Kim.
You know, I do see a difference in the Bullis defense versus the Episcopal defense, as I hear a lot more from the Bullis defense. They are very vocal and very great at communicating with each other. However, Episcopal I didn't hear just as much.
And a tip from Bullis defense gives the ball right to Porter McCloy, as a shot inside from Lindley Barrier does not connect, as McCulley will recover and look for something the bottom side of the goal, but she'll have to bring it back towards Porter McCloy at X. And now I believe that's Sydney Gray in possession, and Sydney will look for a shot, but she won't have anything. This Bullis defense is working amazingly, as they'll pick the ball out of the sky, and that'll be a foul on the Maroon, an illegal check, and that'll go the way of Bullis. Bullis now in control after a great defensive possession.
You know, something I noticed about Macaulay Vaughn is that even if she doesn't plan on going in the circle, she's still going to make her defender work, and she's still going to add a bunch of pressure against her defender, even if she knows that she's just running up or running back to X, which I feel like is super beneficial for her and the team, as they really get the defense tired out.
Stamina is going to be a big thing in this game. The heat and fatigue of playing in 90-degree plus weather often wears on teams, and we see, you know, teams that have been in the lead by 5 or 6 goals at the end of the start of the fourth quarter fall apart, and it becomes a closer game within 1 or 2 goals, and sometimes they even lose that game.
I mean, we are not used to this weather. This is some tough heat, but the girls are, I mean, they look strong and energized and ready for this. But even walking up here, I was out of breath.
Seeing that strength as the ball is knocked out of the stick of Bullis. Briefly recovered there from the Maroon, but a great check there from the offense of Bullis gives the ball right back to them. Maroon ferocious on defense so far.
I really hear a lot more from the Episcopal defense. I see a lot more anger, and the Gracie Buxton as a defender is really getting in there. However, it's still going to be Bullis's ball.
Gracie seemed to have some thoughts there on that last possession. She believes that there was some sort of foul on her. Curious to see why the ref didn't call that, and a shot on goal.
That was an amazing save from Murray. I mean, she was right there, and that was an amazing shot. However, did not stand a chance against our Murray.
Murray, great save there. Beginning a lot better over the season after starting new.
And she hasn't even been here for a long time.
No, hasn't. You know, Lanaya was the starting goalie for the Maroon. Got injured with a concussion before even the first game, so the Maroon have been working with Murray a lot more than they expected to be, and it's turned out mixed for the Maroon as ball pops out of the stick there for a moment, but is recovered once again, and Porter will now take control at X and dish it off towards McCulley, the offensive captain for the Maroon, back to Lindley. Lindley now bringing it up past the arc, and Resetting up top is the Maroon with Gracie. Now rotating back down towards X, possibly looking for an ISO for McCulley. And she'll drive inside, and she'll look for a shot, but help from Bullis will stop her attempt at the goal, as Lindley will now attempt to do the same, but on the other side of the goal, and she'll get double teamed, and she'll have to bring it back out. Great defense there from Bullis, as Gracie Buxton now looks up top, and she'll drive inside, but she'll have to kick it out once again. This Bullis defense is not allowing anything within 10 yards of this goal. Porter McCloy tossing it back to Gracie. Gracie bounces it for a moment. She'll get around her defender, and she'll get a shot on goal, and a great save there from the goalie of Bullis.
That was an amazing save, but an amazing try from Gracie. She really pushed through that, but did not come out the successful side. Number 9, Bullis, is making her way down the field, passing it over to number 12. The ball movement for Bullis is amazing. I mean, all of these players have amazing quick eye-hand coordination, and it's really satisfying to watch.
Seen the ball pop out of a lot of the sticks today, more than usual for both sides of the teams here. You know, offensively and defensively, the Maroon have lost a couple. Bullis has lost a couple. Curious to see if the heat maybe affects that, as a shot from the top right or on the top right doesn't go for Bullis. Bounces off the top crossbar there, as Bullis will drive back inside, take another shot, and a great
Amazing save from
there.
Maraid. I've noticed these Bullis balls are all going high, either over the cage or hitting the top of it. I wonder if that's a stick issue or what's going on there.
Like I mentioned earlier, you know, it just seems like the ball is popping out of the sticks high today.
Maybe it's sweat. Maybe they're just, their hands are, I don't know.
Could be, you know, messed up, you know, shooting, as you said, with the sweaty hands, or
But
as we get
do
Bullis player
actually have
down.
an injured player. I can't see the number there.
Miss
but-
Kathy Starr, sports medicine trainer, will make her way out there to deal with the injury for Bullis, as we'll take a moment to slow down.
I mean, I just wanted to point out Episcopal goalie Marie. She has been absolutely killing it. She's been adjusting to all these changes, and it does not seem to be getting to her head whatsoever. But along with that, I feel like the team has also done a great job of adjusting to a new goalie, because I feel like we've said this the past few games. Goalie is just such an essential player, especially for the defense, because they correlate everything that's going on. They're seeing what the players aren't seeing. And so to have a new goalie is just, I feel like, such a difficult thing.
I agree with you. And now we'll learn a little bit about Coach Boyum. What do you have to say, Julia?
I mean, Coach Boyum is an amazing coach for the Episcopal Girls Lacrosse. She's a strong leader of this Maroon team in her 3rd season as the head coach for the Maroon. She was a graduate of the Naval Academy and often attributes her coaching style to that of the coaches at the Naval Academy. She also was a gold medalist box lacrosse goalie, bringing an unusual goalie perspective to the head coaching position for Episcopal.
You know, as you mentioned there, goalie minds on this team really helps to, you know, effectively communicate with their defense and enforce a close game and a gritty game defensively, something key in lacrosse. We see that on the boys team on all levels and the girls team at all levels. It's kind of amazing to see how much this Episcopal program has rallied around the defensive side of the ball as of late these past few years. And now the Maroon, you know, are going to take a moment to talk in the huddle. What do you think they're saying right now on the offensive side?
I think offensively they're talking about cutting. I feel like that's something I didn't notice from Episcopal and something I did notice from Bullis. They have so many players cutting and moving constantly, and I don't see that as much on the Episcopal side. However, they are communicating very well on the offensive side. Defensively, I think she's talking about kind of being more adjustable to your player, not keeping your feet planted and being able to move accordingly, because I feel like that's been such an issue where the players are getting past them easily, and if they just kind of adjusted better, maybe that wouldn't be the case. But, you know, Coach Boyum is an extremely tough coach, but an extremely amazing coach, and I feel like she really motivates these players, because we have so much skill on this team, but sometimes we lack the aggression that we need, but I feel like she really brings that out, and she's such a great coach, and all of her teammates are so players are coachable, and it's just an amazing team overall.
I'd like to point out that just earlier there, a few seconds ago, you saw the Bullis player get on her feet and begin to walk off the field. She is making her way over to the Maroon Athletic Training Center now. It doesn't look like she will be returning to this game. That might be a key loss for Bullis. Didn't get to see the number there, didn't quite catch it.
I think it was 7, if I'm wrong.
Bullis doesn't have a 7 on their roster. I believe it could be number 6. That would be one of their junior,
6 is
their
in.
core juniors. 6 is in the game. Curious to see which player they might have lost there. Limiting their bench of 3 or 4 players back down to 3 players now on the bench. That could be a factor later in the heat as the Maroon now bring the ball down offensively.
J-Rock is taking that ball down. She is such an essential player for the defense, especially from the pathway from defense to offense. She's always moving the ball. If she's not running, at least she has a controlled way of getting it down there, and I never see her lose that ball.
You guys don't know who J-Rock is. That is Julia Rock.
My apologies.
And Gracie Buxton now up top. Is going to give it to Ella Kim, who gives it to Porter. And Maroon bringing it back towards X for McCauley. Another ISO. Can she get a shot off this time? No. And knocked down from Bullis. The pass in towards Kincaid. And a great check there, but that'll be illegal.
Macaulay Vaughn was not going to let that slide. I mean, she was right there. However, player number 39 has not gotten up yet. Seems to be another injury.
Another injury for Bullis. Sophia Nelson, sophomore defenseman, is currently on the ground, and a lot of injuries for Bullis in this opening quarter. 1 minute and 41 seconds remaining. And that looked ugly, and I believe that's Gracie and Sydney Gray talking over the next move. Correction, that was McCulley and Sydney Gray, and Gracie and Kincaid are having a brief discussion on what to do next. The offensive team will meet up together on the field by the 40-yard line and discuss how to move on. Not what we want to see, but
and she
a lot of
is
injuries.
Back up, and I can't tell if she's going to make it to this. Oh, and she's back up. She looks good, but I think she's going to take a break.
I would definitely take a break, too, if I went down like that. And she will take a moment on the bench as the ever-shrinking bench for Bullis is just getting smaller and smaller. Miss Kathy going to have to work harder and harder in this matchup. She's got 2 players to manage now. And looks like a leg injury, and she will most likely return as she is up and moving quite well. As Bullis now will try and clear this ball. Lindley, if she has something to say about it, she's trying to stop them, but she can't do that. And now Bullis now bringing it across their offensive restraining line, and they'll settle into offense. A lot of injuries. Don't know if that's because of the heat, and the ball post had the stick again. And a loss of ball control for Bullis has been frequent in this first quarter. Uncharacteristic of this team, which is normally calm, composed, and controlled at all moments in the field. And, with these injuries, could be impacting them mentally. And 1 minute to play, and a shot on goal doesn't go. Murray lost the ball there for a moment, doesn't go in, and Bullis will get another shot. 87 seconds to score, but 50 seconds are on the clock, and driving inside is Bullis looking for a shot. They will find one, but it won't go. And fighting for the ball is the Maroon defense, but unable to get back in time, and Bullis will get another opportunity to shoot. 30 seconds now. What will Bullis do? They'll probably hold it up top, if I were to guess, and then drive down inside. They'll rotate off to the right. 20 seconds now. Time bleeding off the clock. Driving up the middle. Shot blocked by the Maroon. Big sticks for the Maroon helping out here and blocking those shots from Bullis. As Bullis now, 7 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, and a shot on goal will go in the closing seconds of this first quarter. Bullis scores once again. The score's now Bullis 2, EHS 0. With 4 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
I mean, we had multiple opportunities on the past few minutes. I think we had 3 opportunities to have gotten that ball back. I feel like something that Episcopal should be working on is definitely their rebounds. There's been multiple times when the ball has hit the post or is on the floor, and I feel like they need to be first to be there. I wonder if they're going to keep someone on X to make sure that next time the ball goes out and misses the goal, that they will be there to get it.
And a quick reminder is there's 4 seconds left in this first quarter. We will go down to Brady Hopkins on the sideline for a quick report following following the end of regulation this first quarter, and we will send it down to Brady Hopkins now.
What's up, everyone? Just finished a very entertaining first quarter here where the Bulldogs are taking on the Maroon. We saw 2 goals from Bullis, none from the Maroon yet, but we're showing great strengths on offense, and they'll look to put it together here in the second quarter. Saw several injuries as well. Wonder if maybe the heat is affecting that. Quite hot out here. I'd guess maybe around 83 degrees, maybe feels like temperature of around 86. It's your weather report there. And we're looking forward to this second quarter where both teams can hope to put it together and create a stronger offensive and defensive scheme. Over and out, Brady Hopkins.
Appreciate the breakdown, Brady. Injuries definitely taking a toll on both teams, with the Maroon losing their starting goalie and Bullis now down 2 players after injuries in the beginning of this game. Julia, how do you think this is going to impact the Maroon team and their offensive strategy with 2 defenders for Bullis down?
I mean, I really hope that they're going to take advantage of this opportunity. I do think that the girls really capitalize on all the moments that they can, so I have a confidence that they are going to see this as a strength and be like, okay, let's get them when we can. I think that I see a lot more energy, anger coming from the Episcopal girls, which is what we need, and I think I see the Bullis girls getting a little bit more tired, so I'm hoping that that will be beneficial to us in the rest of the game.
In hot games like this one, it's often the team with the most stamina that comes out victorious, and the Maroon emphasized that in their conditioning yesterday.
I mean, Coach Boyum's conditioning, I just have to say, these girls, I don't know how they do it. I mean, no wonder they're so prepared for games like this, because I see them running laps, and I'm kind of confused as to if this is legal. Obviously it is, and it works really well, and they actually like it because they feel so much better afterwards. But it's tough.
Key word, afterwards. During
afterwards.
The conditioning
During they don't, but they feel amazing after, and they also can agree that they feel like they need it. I just remember in the beginning of the season, a few of the girls would say that like they need to get their energy up, they need to get their stamina up, they're always tired, but now I don't see that happening, and I see them all, I mean, they're making it to every part of the field, they don't look tired. I mean, I don't know how they're doing with this heat, but I'm extremely proud of the girls.
It's also part of the mental game as well.
Exactly.
If you are on the team that has more stamina than the other one, and the other team's on their knees and they're gasping for breath, and you're standing tall and you're breathing normally, it has a big impact on the other team's mental and thinking, I don't even know if I can do this. It looks like they haven't even played a single minute, and meanwhile, you feel like you've played an hour of lacrosse. So curious to see how Bullis will adapt to that change. Also, you know, curious to see how the Maroon will tackle maybe a different offensive strategy coming in with these 2 missing players. I mean, it could provide some like, you know, most players who get the starting position usually know the plays and how to slide and when to slide better than those who are not in the starting position. So if Bullis is putting in 2 of their bench players on defense, that could lead to some defense miscommunication, which could leave the likes of Gracie Buxton, Lindley Barrier, Macaulay Vaughn, Porter McCloy, any of the offensive weapons on that side of the field open, and a shot opportunity could be in the cards for the Maroon. And every single goalie on every single lacrosse team, boys or girls, can make great saves, but if it's a one-on-one shot between the person shooting and the goalie, it's often way harder to make the save than it is if you have defensive help. And that's why defensive communication means so much, and if the Maroon can capitalize on the miscommunications of Bullis, they might be able to claw this one back quite quickly in the start of the second quarter, as 12 minutes is set on the clock here.
I agree with that. I think that's very good insight. I'm excited to see what happens next. I think we need to see a lot more cutting on the offensive side. I feel like we have so much potential there. I think we just got to be creative. So just going off of what you said, but
see what you're saying. I mean, of course, the Maroon, they want to take advantage of the fact that Bullis slide to help so much. They're double teaming they're double teaming the ball a lot. So if the Maroon were able to see where that double team was coming from and then make a quick cut inside and rotate the players away from where they're supposed to be, could be key as Bullis wins the first draw of the second quarter. and will now reset down inside. Will look for a shot down low, but won't find it, and they'll reset once again.
I mean, that was amazing defense from Episcopal. I couldn't, I think it was Winnie and Claire Walsh. They ran right up to this girl who was getting a fast break, and that was amazing communication, and I think that was exactly what we want to be seeing.
Now Bullis looking inside once again. That's been their key shooting area so far. They haven't looked at the perimeter as much as other teams that the Maroon have faced, and they've really been shooting within about 5 to 2 yards, I'd say, of the crease, being careful to stay away from going inside the crease, but definitely treading or towing the line. And they are bringing it back towards X once again, trying to isolate the Maroon team. A fire shot inside. It goes.
It was a great goal from number 6, Kaylin Scruggs. She is a junior. We have 1, 2, 3, 9 juniors on this team. I mean, oh my God, sorry. Sorry, guys. There was just a massive ant on my leg, and yeah, that was an amazing goal from number 6. That was a tough one for Marie. That was not luck. That was skill.
And that was the exact type of shot I was talking about earlier. You know, within 5 yards of the goal, a shot inside with, you know, no chance to stop the goal with wasn't Marie. I mean, she's one-on-one there. It's very tough to make that save, especially with the player who's taking the shot so close. And the Maroon need a few of those opportunities to come back as they now trail by 3. And
Episcopal ball. That was an amazing. I mean, this draw circle is super strong. We have 3 amazing players on it, and Gracie Busting is making her way down.
Gracie
it's about to be a 1v1 against the goalie, and she is going to get that in. That was an amazing goal and amazing play from the Episcopal Maroon girls.
I agree, Julia. As Gracie Buxton liked that chance, she had a one-on-one opportunity there, and she wanted to seize it, and she goes down and she scores, bringing the Maroon back within 2.
I mean, she does not shy away from any of those opportunities. She's going in and she's going for the goal.
And cheers from this Maroon student section for Gracie Buxton, senior out of North Carolina, I believe. And Maroon storming back in the opening minutes of the second quarter, as we'll go back to another draw here. And the Maroon will win that one, and Kincaid is now in control, and she will bring it down towards the offensive side.
I've noticed every time the ball gets towards Kincaid when she's on the circle, it's our ball for the draw. I mean, she's such an amazing midfielder and aspect to this team, but I wonder if we're gonna see any fun plays from them on the offensive side.
Almost an announcer's curse there, Julia, as Kincaid momentarily loses possession, but she will luckily get the call there and will retain Episcopal ball. Kincaid is the key to consistency on this team, as you said. You know,
Agreed.
in control always when the ball comes towards her, as a pass inside towards Gracie Buxton for the second goal today doesn't go, and that ball will now be in Bullis' hands as they will bring it across their defensive restraining line and now midfield. And she's kind of on a roll here.
I mean, Gracie is not letting that girl go. She is sticking with her like glue. This just shows how great of an athlete is. She lost the ball on the other side. She fought for it, and she followed the girl all the way to the other side of the field.
That is college athlete level material. That's why she got an offer, and that's why she's going to play lacrosse.
She's a multi-varsity sport player.
A lot of skill on this Maroon team. And Bullis now going to reset offensively.
I hear a lot more communication from the defensive Episcopal. They look sticks up. I mean, clearly they're doing what they learned in practice yesterday. Or didn't learn, sorry. Worked on.
Coach Kreidel focused on that yesterday and punished each mistake with more conditioning, which was not what the Maroon team wanted, but they might be thankful now. But a pass inside and another shot on goal goes
I mean,
for Bullis.
number 6 is an amazing athlete. She's gotten multiple goals this game. She's quick on her feet. She knows where to go. She knows where to look. And her players have so much confidence that she's going to be where they want her to be when they want her to be there. An amazing player, an amazing athlete.
What do you think the Maroon can do to stop the likes of Bullis and number 6.
Really think it's a communication thing. I mean, I've noticed from this side a lot of times girls are sliding over, but they're forgetting to communicate to the girl that they're going to help. Like, I've got this player, you go get the girl that's lost. I feel like if they just accomplish that one thing, they're set. But other than that, I mean, they're so prepared and they're all moving their feet and communicating as best they can, but I think we can do better.
As I saw in practice yesterday, you know, the Maroon were kind of inconsistent on their defensive communication. It's come back to bite them here, and we can see that now as the Maroon now trail by 3 once again. The score is 4-1 Bullis, and Kincaid will get that ball, as you said earlier.
Ball. Oh, but she's getting double teamed. However, that's not going to stop her. She's making her way down the field, and she has multiple of her teammates offering their help.
And Kincaid will now, like her one-on-one matchup, she'll look inside, but she'll toss it back out to Lindley Barrier, and the Maroon will begin to reset back down low behind the goal with Macaulay Vaughn, who likes her ISOs. That's been the key thing. And will the Maroon try and draw to screen? They will for a moment with Lindley giving a look there, but nothing so far, as she will now have the ball, and she'll take a shot on goal, and that won't go. Great save there
Amazing
from Bullis.
goal. I mean, goalie. My apologies. You know, I mean, Macaulay is an amazing player to have on X, but I so want to see her at the top of the circle because I'd love to just watch her in action, get that ball, get it in the goal. She's so strong. She's such a powerful force. Cutting me off there, we now have Bullis, another goal scored by number 12. That is going to be Skylar Walters, 11th grader.
Skylar Walters running past AP Bryan and gets a shot on goal. Top right goes. Moraine unable to save that one. The Maroon defense not as effective as they want to be in transition. How do you think they can fix that?
I mean, I think other than this one moment, they've been very good at transition. If we could re-look at when Gracie followed that girl all the way down the field, I don't know if that's the issue. I mean, I think right there maybe they were slacking a bit, but other than that, I feel like they've done a phenomenal job at that. I think maybe it's just a matter of capitalizing on the balls that we're losing. If a ball falls on the floor, if a player loses a catch, you should be the first ones there all the time, and I feel like players like Macaulay Vaughn, Gracie Buxton, they are there. They do fight for that ball till the end, but I think we just need everyone to have that same mentality.
Gracie Buxton and Macaulay Vaughn, both senior leaders on this team, fostering a sense of a positive team attitude and positive team culture, trying to instill their values on all the young players on this team. Quite a few sophomores and juniors. Not as many freshmen as last year, but definitely a lot of talent, a lot of young talent on this team. And, you know, future captains are in the midst of this team, and Gracie and Macaulay have done a great job, you know, so far. I saw them in practice yesterday leading by example, bringing the energy.
They're both amazing leaders. I mean, I would love to be on a sport with both of them. I got lucky enough to be on varsity field hockey with Gracie Buxton, and she was an amazing leader, and she always made sure that our energy was 100% all the time, so I can't imagine what it would be like to have both Gracie and Macaulay. But I do wonder, I mean, I get that Macaulay's specialty is crease rolls and getting her shots in that way, but I just would love to see her at a different point around on the offense. I wonder what would happen, but I know that we do need her there because she is a great person to kind of settle down and get everyone in their positions. But, you know, a girl can dream.
You know, I agree with you. We did see one time, I believe, this season on EHS Live. I believe may have been one of the first games we covered where we did see Macaulay up top near the offensive restraining line. She got an ISO. The Maroon cleared out inside, gave her a straight shot to the goal, and she was able to speed right past her defender and score.
Yes. But I mean, they put her in the toughest spot because I think she can really handle it. She really knows how to make them work down there. And I feel like that's a super hard thing to do. Not many people can score from that angle, but Macaulay can. So I do understand why she's there. But who knows? Maybe we'll see her up top.
I agree with you. A little shift in offense could be interesting. The Maroon could look for a different tactic as this Bullis defense has been pretty locked down lately. 7 minutes and 55 seconds remaining about. So Sydney Gray will take this next draw.
I mean, they have been locked down, but I just feel like we haven't been making them work hard enough. I feel like we really need to throw in a play, make maybe more cutting. But, you know.
I mean, the impact of cutting is so much. I mean, it can get players turned around and miscommunicating on defense. It's really key in providing offensive opportunities, as you said. And looks like Bullis will take control of this draw, and curious to see what the Maroon can do defensively here. They need a stop. They're down by 4 currently, and I believe the Maroon have it in them. Switching to a zone defense is the Maroon after playing man for most of the day. They got kind of burned in that middle area, that inside within 5 yards of the crease. I wonder if this zone defense will prevent that, playing more conservative, forcing Bullis to shoot outside as they'll bring it back towards X. Well, Bullis, they'll cut inside, but nothing there. Seeing maybe a little bit of the fatigue as the players who cut inside walk back out, and a shot on the goal from number 40 on Bullis goes. Murray unable to save that one. Another shot from basically right on the crease.
That was a great goal. Hayden Brandt. I wonder if maybe it's an anticipation thing. I feel like the girls should really start anticipating. Like I know she's going to go this way, or just kind of being ahead of it, because I feel like when they're following the girl that's cutting, they're like a step behind. But if you just anticipated or force yourself to be like, she's going to go here then, they would be same step. They'd be together. But that was a moment where I think I saw Cover slide over to try and help another player, but her girl had a wide open in front of the goal, and she was, I think, a bigger threat than the girl that she was going to.
Of course, I mean, sliding and giving help on defense is such a tough concept in lacrosse, and, you know, deciding which player is more of a threat is always tough in that in-game moment. And, you know, the Maroon have been prone to those mistakes during the season, and it's biting them here as they're now down by 5. And the Maroon will win that face-off, in case you didn't notice, and now they're all on the offense, and Sydney Gray will slow it down and give the Maroon a chance to reset. And I've seen Bullis a little bit more fatigued on offense than I have on defense. I wonder if that'll impact their scoring ability come the end of the second quarter and the start of the second half.
I mean, I do not know how they're doing it with only 3 subs. I mean, that seems brutal, but I'm guessing that they have harsh conditioning as well. Episcopal offense is making their way around. I think they're in the midst of a ISO.
I feel something coming inside for Lindley Barrier. She will get the ball, and she will look for a shot on goal, but she'll get double teamed to have to kick it back outside. And Sydney Gray now looking in, and she'll get a shot on goal.
That was an amazing play.
Kincaid a shot on goal, sorry. And a great save there from the goalie of Bullis. She has been making the difference today.
I mean, that was an amazing play. However, that was not successful, but that's exactly what I feel like we wanted to see. And just noticed how fast Lindley goes from 0 to 100. She really went from walking to quick feet.
And Bullis gets down towards the offensive side really quickly there. Worried defense there, hurried defense there from the Maroon. Caught on their back foot for a moment. Bullis, though, drops a pass, unable to bring it inside, and they'll have to reset once again. And it's curious to see how the Maroon will cover these cuts now, as it seems when Bullis sends 2 or 3 people, the Maroon kind of get discombobulated, and let's see if they can control themselves now. As a cut inside for Bullis, a shot on goal will not go. That was not on target. And great effort there from the Maroon.
I mean, Jaywalk was really there this time. I feel like they were prepared for that ball, but I think we just need to be a little bit more ready. Like, when the ball's going past the goal, we should be the first ones there, especially because so many balls have gone past this goal and have not gone in from Bullis.
And a great scoop there from Gracie Buxton.
I mean, that looks like an illegal check, but it is not going to be called, and the ball's going to stay with Bullis now.
Yeah, the great scoop there from Gracie goes in vain, and Gracie seems a little bit tired there, hands on her knees there for a moment trying to reset.
I mean, she's been all over the field. I do not blame that girl.
100%. I mean, she's been up and down. She's scored the only goal for the Maroon. She's been the loudest on offense and defense, doing a lot for this Maroon team. And some call her longevity because of how long she's been able to, you know, stay active and do great things for this Maroon team. So it'd be very crucial to see her falter, and we do not want to see that for this Maroon team. As Bullis will now run their signature cut play inside, and there's an open opportunity, but the ball is bobbled, and the Maroon will now have control.
That was a great
stroke of luck for the
grab
Maroon.
from J-Rock. I mean, she knows. She really does anticipate that ball.
As you talked about, anticipation key in stopping offensive possessions for Bullis. And Julia Rock doing just that. As
She's making her way down again. She's always the one bringing the ball down. And I'm going to say, and that was, she gets to keep that ball. I feel like Bullis has had a few illegal checks this game.
a few is a little bit generous, Julia, as the Maroon now will have control in the way of Kincaid. And another whistle. McCulley not at X this time. Curious to see her in an unusual position above goal line extended. Could that be a change in the offensive strategy? She's up top. She'll bring it out to Ella Kim though. And looking inside is Ella Kim, but nothing's there. And rotating back towards X is the Maroon in the way of Porter McCloy. Now Gracie Buxton at X. This is interesting. I haven't seen Gracie Buxton at X a lot. And McCulley Vaughn and Gracie Buxton seem to have switched in their positions this offensive possession. And slowing down is the Maroon.
I mean, this is a tough defense to get by. These girls are really on top of their players, and they're always...
Gracie sticks up, looking for something inside. As McCulley now in control, she'll have an opportunity. She'll take a shot on goal.
Oh!
And an amazing save.
That
wow.
was an amazing shot from McCulley Vaughn. That's exactly what we were just talking about. Loved seeing her up there. She really capitalized on that situation. However, this is an extremely talented goalie, and that was an amazing save.
One of the best in Maryland, some could say, as the Maroon defense is now kept on their back foot, and they will get a shot on goal. Bullis will score.
Another goal from number 6.
Number 6 is a hat trick, I believe. 3 goals in the day.
I think she has 4.
4 goals
Is that
on the
crazy?
day. That is
Yeah, no, I think she does have
lot.
4.
More than 50% of the goals for Bullis. And, you know, that was a great opportunity for McCulley. McCulley had that open shot. I mean, she beat her defender. She got inside. She looked for the great shot placement, but there's nothing really you can do when you have all those factors. They line up in a perfect, you know, measure in a perfect line. All the stars align, and then you just have the goalie who is amazing and makes that great save. And, you know, similar to what we've seen in other parts of this game where the Maroon have great opportunities to shoot, take the shot, great placement, but the goalie for Bullis bails the Bullis defense out, and the Maroon are unable to score. And a draw violation on Bullis. So Kincaid now will take control at the split E, and the double team starts against her.
And J-Rock is bringing the ball back down. I mean, she's always right there.
I feel like she's been more involved on the offensive side and clearing today than she has in the other games.
She just has a lot of good composure. Like, it's not that she's, like, speeding down the field super fast, but she's making her way down there with a bunch of control. And that's going to be a goal.
Sneaky shot on goal there from Ella Kim.
Amazing.
Bullis was not expecting that, neither were we. And the Maroon now come back just that little bit more, cutting the lead of Bullis from 6 back down to 5.
That was a great play by Episcopal and an unexpected shot, but a very great shot. I feel like we have not heard much from number 17, but I love to see her, and she's an amazing athlete.
Could that be the piece offensively that the Maroon are missing so far in this game? Minute 18 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Halftime adjustments probably coming for the Maroon and Bullis. And I wonder, following halftime, if we'll see those 2 injured players for Bullis come back, or will they stay out? And now we will resume play with 1 minute and 18 seconds remaining. I believe, if I were to call it, I think that the Maroon will win this draw. And it looks like I may have jinxed it, as Bullis wins the draw. And we'll come down towards the Maroon's defensive side. Falling back into a man defense right now is the Maroon. Now switching into a zone, I believe. 1 minute to play, and 1 minute to score for Bullis. Shot clock doesn't matter, as they will probably hold out for the last shot or the last 2 shots, as they did in the first quarter. They're probably going to look for almost the exact same shot, which they've had almost every single time they've scored today, which is within 5 yards of the crease. And a quick shot on goal. Nothing Murray can do. looks like what they're looking for now with these quick cuts inside as the ball is on the left side. It hasn't left the hands of number 18, and it finally does. And cut inside, and a shot on goal will
that
go.
was an amazing shot and cut from number 18. Very skillful. I mean, that was a great attempt from Mairead, but an amazing shot overall.
The ball was in number 18's stick for essentially the entire possession. She dished it off for one moment and then got the ball right back and took a shot on goal and scored. 13.4 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Curious to see if the Maroon will rush down for a quick shot or if they will just let this one play out.
I think they're going to try and just maintain composure, keep that ball in their possession, but just move it around.
And we will send it down to Brady Hopkins. Quick reminder, we will send it down to Brady Hopkins the end of this half, or at the end of this half, the end of this quarter. And the Maroon in position for the draw. And Kincaid tips it for a brief moment, but Bullis will have it in possession. Looks like they'll take a Hail Mary shot. 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was amazing defense from Claire Walsh. I mean, she was right where she wanted to be, and she stopped that ball.
I agree. Great defense there from Claire Walsh. And we will send it down to Brady Hopkins now for a sideline report.
What's up, everyone? Great first half just finished for the Maroon and the Bulldogs. I'm here with Maroon team manager Genevieve. Genevieve, what do you think is the most important part about being a manager for this Maroon team?
I think keeping their energy high and telling them they can do it, and like being a team and lifting them up because they can do it, and that this is a strong team full of strong players and they just have to really work together.
I love that answer. And what do you think the Maroon need to do in the second half in order to come back from this small deficit they face right now?
We just have to stay disciplined and keeping on the ball and stuff, and talking and communicating and keeping our sticks up and stuff.
Thank you very much. Great insight there from team manager Genevieve. See you. Brady Hopkins over and out.
Welcome back for the second half of this matchup where Bullis and the Episcopal Maroon are going at it in this hot matchup, the sweltering heat in the bowl. It's over 93 degrees now, and I can only imagine it's even hotter on the turf, 95 on the turf if I were to guess. It's already affected multiple players, few suffering from dehydration. One of our camera operators went down for a moment.
So we're man down, but you know what? We're making it through, me and Jay over here.
Tough job announcing.
We really are committed to talking about girls lacrosse. We're not backing down. The heat is getting me, I gotta say it, but I actually can't complain because I cannot imagine how these girls are feeling. I wonder if their feet are burning.
You know, when
or the ref, you see the black shoes, that seems, I can already feel the pain.
I have black cleats for when I play football, and I can say as Bullis takes that shot there and scores to bring their lead up to 7, I can say as when I was playing football and during preseason and during summer workouts, my feet would begin to burn because of the heat that would attract onto the turf field and onto the black shoes. Definitely not a good choice, and I can only imagine how hot the field is right now. Even during preseason, I had my shoes melt in a little bit to the field.
That sounds awful.
Warm.
No, I'm really into the white cleats, I gotta say. I feel like that's my style. I think something about them makes you look super athletic. I know you just said you wore black cleats, so that kind of sounded like a diss. Totally wasn't. I think black cleats make sense for football.
Yeah, I mean, personally, if I had it my way, I'd have multiple cleats for different outings because I feel like different cleat, colors and combinations mix better with different uniforms. The white for home, the black for away, could look better with different cleats. And Noah Baker, one of the tight ends on the football team and the sixth man on the varsity basketball team, had a lot of different shoe choices, over 60 different types of shoes and shoelace combinations, and he's the go-to guy in the Episcopal community.
Did you wear high socks with your cleats or low socks?
Definitely low socks for the lineman cleats, I gotta say. I'm not a fan of the high socks.
Actually, I totally lie because I never end up having cleats for the season. I just keep saying, oh, I'm gonna get cleats, and then I just never have them.
So do you borrow people's cleats or
no,
what?
I just wear sneakers or turf shoes, but normally those get away.
Yeah. With a lot of planting and cutting in football, can't really get away with that. And
yeah,
Bullis here has been kind of in control at the start of this second half here. We're now approaching the 9 minutes 45 seconds mark. The Maroon have yet to have a possession on offense, and this could be playing a toll on this Maroon defense. With this heat, it's really crucial to get some rest.
I mean, Hollis Jenkins, number 18, Bullis, is such an athlete. I'm watching her right now because she just had possession. But her speed and her just game IQ is amazing and phenomenal. So I just want to give her a shout out.
And a shot on goal there from Bullis goes. They widen their lead to 8. Scores now 10-2. The Maroon down by 8.
Scored by number 6, Caitlin Scruggs.
Number 6, another
six,
goal.
Again, she's everywhere. What I've also noticed is that all of these players are multi-position players. Like, they all can play defense and midfield and attack, and that's something we read before coming into this game about them as well, is that they can do it all of them.
The versatility of Bullis is key in their success, and they've had no short of tough opponents, and they definitely have felt the pressure before, so they are a very experienced team, and they definitely know what to do in all types of weather, and we see that here as they're performing quite well under this heat. And I don't envy the midfielders on both sides of this matchup, and running back and forth on this field is definitely going to be tough in this weather for all sports. And kind of seeing some heat-related mistakes there as, a little bit of miscommunication leads to a bobbled ball there for Bullis. And
I think something I've noticed is that we kind of lose momentum after something good happens. Let's say we make a shot on goal. It feels like Bullis will go and make a shot right after, and theirs will go in. It just feels like we are not consistent, and I think that's something we should really work on this game, is staying consistent. And when we're playing 100%, continue playing 100%, which I just described exactly what consistent means, but that's
Heat getting to you a little bit, Julia.
yeah, it is.
I agree with that statement, though, and we're going to have a little bit of momentum there. I mean, was I seeing things there? Did I see the Maroon kind of tap the ball back into their stick using their hand there for a second?
You might have been seeing things because I didn't see that, but also I'm looking through the screen and you're looking at the field. But
Curious, didn't get a call there. Lucky break there for the Maroon. Gracie Buxton now in possession, and Kincaid back to Sydney Gray. And Sydney Gray wants a goal, and she'll drive inside. She'll beat her defender. She'll get help, though, and the ball get knocked out of her
Kincaid
stick.
was right there. I don't know how she did that, but she just
Kincaid.
that's what we should be doing. When the ball's on the ground, you're right there, and that's exactly what Kincaid just did.
Kincaid, sophomore, modeling what it means to be on this team and being there for her teammates. And driving down inside is the Maroon. Pass to McCulley. Shot by McCulley. Goes. Top shelf for McCulley Vaughn.
Amazing goal from McCulley. That's exactly what we've been waiting to see.
Mimicking the types of shots that Bullis was getting on Maraid. And the Bullis goalie, who has done so much for this team, cannot stop that goal.
You can't stop McCauley. I mean, that was an amazing, amazing goal from Mac.
Like what you said now, can the Maroon capitalize on this momentum, though? They've scored. They've cut the lead down to 7. Will they be able to win this draw, go back on offense, and score once again? Or if they lose this draw, go back on defense, get a turnover or stop, and come back and score? They need to capitalize on this momentum here.
We have a different rotation on the circle this time. I've noticed. And Sydney Gray is currently down as I'm going to go with the stick hit her head during that draw.
That's going to be a big loss to the Maroon, and she will come off the field now. Both teams with kind of a shallow bench. I believe she'll come off just for a brief moment. The worst injury I could think from the amount of contact that she had there, what could be a concussion, but I don't think that's the case. I think she's just going to need a moment to get some water and regain her bearings, as all injuries are amplified by the heat. And
that was an amazing make down of the field by number 17. She really has a great way of making it through players. And
Ella Kim, one of the 3 goal scorers today. And McCulley wants another one, but great defense there from Bullis will bring her back out. McCulley, though, undeterred, will drive down inside. The ball's tipped up in the air.
I mean, she's got that ball back.
But a great check there from McCulley. And McCulley, great sequence of plays there, both offensive and defensive, and now Bullis players down. But I just want to say, McCulley, that was a great
I mean, she does not let that ball go. Okay, the heat's really getting to us because I keep messing up I've been messing up my words since we first got here, but that was an amazing play by McCauley. She did not let that ball go. And I feel like I've seen that from a lot of them. Same with Kincaid. Same with all the offense right now.
A lot more injury timeouts than we're familiar with. And number 18, who's done so much. I mean, she scored 2 or 3 goals today for Bullis, will come off the field. I wonder, I mean, there was a lot of contact there in the center. I wonder if that was maybe a stick to the head, although she's wearing a helmet, so I don't know how much that would affect her.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused as well, but
it could be some sort of heat-related, heat exhaustion or...
During that huddle, I saw a lot of words coming from McCauley. She was definitely, I wonder if she was trying to fire him up or what they were saying, but let's see what happens now.
Like you said earlier, the Maroon got a goal. They capitalized on the momentum. They got another goal. Can they keep that momentum going, or will they squander that chance here? As I believe it's Lindley up top in possession. Haven't seen a lot of her today, and it looks like we won't really get that chance. It looks like she's looking to pass it off to the left side. And McCulley back with the ball now. And the Maroon with Ella Kim, I believe. Another shot on goal. That won't go. McCulley, though, great grab. And a shot inside.
That was a great look,
connect.
though, from McCulley, but did not connect. But it's still Episcopal ball. Lindley was there, and they're doing such an amazing job of right now of keeping those balls and getting the great rebounds. I mean, this is exactly what we wanted to see, and this is exactly what we're seeing. I wonder if they're listening. Do you think they're listening?
I don't know if they could hear us, but I
Maybe
mean, I'd like to
someone's-
imagine they are. Maybe Coach Boyum has an earbud in on the sideline and is listening to what we're saying.
I feel she is. Get us on that sideline.
And Kincaid, shot on goal, goes top shelf.
That was an
top left for
amazing shot.
Kincaid. And that is another goal for the Maroon. Back-to-back goals on back-to-back
the
possessions.
Speed and the look on that goal were amazing from Kincaid, and that's what we've seen of her really all season. Her shots are phenomenal, and each shot has intention behind it, and she's getting hype.
Kincaid brings the energy to this team, sophomore, and
Amazing goal.
she does a great job keeping her teammates pumped up and excited alongside the two captains on this team, McCully Vaughn and Gracie Buxton. And the Bulldogs will take a timeout here to not only give a moment to get some water and cool off a little bit under the shade. I mean, I kind of think they have an unfair advantage here. Look at there's a great big tree behind us that's shielding us from the sun, but it's also shielding Bullis from the sun as well. So that means they're getting kind of an unfair advantage. The Maroon are under the sun right now. They're in the heat, and I don't know if...
Yeah, it's a little unfair for our girls.
I feel like maybe the stadium designer should have put the tree somewhere else so that the other team didn't get that advantage, but, you know. That's right, I guess I'm sure the Maroon team can persevere. Cutting the lead down to 6 is the Maroon. And what do you think the Maroon coming out of this timeout to, you know, reinvent themselves on defense and try and keep what they have going offensively?
I feel like right now they're really just working on keeping the energy up, getting the girls hype. I feel like there's not much to critique about them right now. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. So I low-key just see them really getting hype right now, motivating each other, talking about the great things that they're doing and the wins and how they want this game to end, but also staying consistent and not letting Bullis get that ball back.
I mean, the mental game is half the battle, and scoring 2 goals like that is definitely a big boost in the morale for this Maroon team. And I'm sure the defense is reinvigorated after that timeout. I'm sure the offense is feeling better than ever. And Sydney Gray will come back out to take the face-off back from the injury. And would love to see if the Maroon could come back and win this draw. That would be key in keeping momentum. The first part of this third quarter was all Bullis. The second part of this third quarter, up to what we've seen so far, was all the Maroon. Now, what will we see here? As Sydney Gray will tip the ball up, that'll go towards the side of Bullis, and number 18 there will get possession. She's back from her injury.
Look at this defense. I mean, that was tough defense from Episcopal. All the girls were there. They really slowed down 18, but that is going to stay as Bullis' ball.
And Bullis will reset at X now. The Maroon falling back into his zone defense. They have not been on defense in several minutes now, and I hard to imagine their legs are cold, but it could cause a lapse in judgment when it comes to communicating cuts, which has been the key factor in stopping this Bullis team.
I agree. I think Bullis is really trying to catch their breath, settle down, and figure out what they want to do next, because they have not actually had the ball on the offensive side yet. So they're probably just trying to get the same momentum back that they had in the prior quarters. Hopefully Episcopal defense will not let that happen.
And Sydney Gray switching sticks. Curious to see what happened there. Could it have broken? Could have been a special stick for the draw.
I think it was special stick for draw, probably.
Slightly longer. I agree with that statement. It's probably a special stick for the draw. And looks like tough battle there on defense, and a shot goes just above the goal. And Bullis will retain possession.
See, I feel like we should...
17 seconds to score.
I really feel like we should be there, because we know that their balls a lot of the time, maybe probably more than 50% of the time, are going outside of the goal and going out. So if we could just have one designated person there saying, be ready to chase after that.
4 minutes and 25 seconds of the third.
I agree with that statement, but there's always, you know, the tough balance where if you station someone behind the goal, usually the the offense of the other team, Bullis in this case, would have an open attackman or midfielder somewhere above goal line extended.
No, I completely agree. I think I mean more just being ready for that, being ready to go and chase after that ball. When you see them taking a shot, begin running. If the shot's already going, you may as well start chasing that. But I completely agree with what you're saying.
I mean, we see that type of play in all levels. I mean, NCAA, lacrosse, middle school lacrosse, high school lacrosse, elementary school lacrosse even, and 18 wins the face-off once again, and they'll reset back at X. 4 minutes remaining now in this third quarter, and I would have loved to see more breeze. I mean, these past few matchups, we've gotten a lot more wind, and it's been a lot colder. Now, imagine if we had that same amount of wind, it would feel a lot better, and, you know, kind of upset that we don't have that same amount of wind.
I agree. Episcopal defense, I don't really hear them, but we are also at the opposite side, so that would make sense. But I do see them with their sticks up and ready to stick with their girl.
I mean, as the game goes on as well, you might find less communications from both teams because of how much they've been playing, especially in this heat and with the amount of physical exertion these players have gone through in this game. I'm sure they're going to have a lot to do when they get off to recover. Probably a lot of ice baths. There's a great interception there from the Maroon, leads to a turnover, and the Maroon will come back down on offense.
I mean, she's got speed. She is really booking it down that field.
And the ball comes out of her stick.
But it's going to stay as Episcopal's ball.
Bailed out there is the Maroon. And now Ella Kim in control. Can the Maroon catch the Bullis defense on their back foot? No, they'll slow it down. And looks like the ball will go to Lindley. And a kind of a late check there from Bullis, getting a little bit physical there. And no reaction from Ella Kim or the refs. So nothing to state there as the ball rotates back at X. McCulley showing a shot there. Doesn't see anything. Opens up the opportunity for Sydney Gray, who takes a shot on goal and just off targets.
But McCulley was there to chase after that. I mean, she was prepared.
If only we could have McCulley on defense. And McCulley back at X. Tosses off to the left side. Now back to Sydney Gray. Sydney Gray looking for a shot inside towards Kincaid. Doesn't connect. Tipped off Kincaid's stick. Ground ball with 3 Maroon players and 1 Bullis player. That's gritty. And a trip from the Bullis player puts Lindley Barrier on the ground.
But she is back up and she's ready. We really fight for that ball. I mean, these girls are hungry.
And another ground ball leaves McCulley Vaughn fighting for it once again. And Bullis will win that matchup, or will they, as 3 more Maroon players converge, and Kincaid now will get that ball, and rushing back on defense is Bullis. And now Kincaid will slow down and give each player on both teams a moment to catch their breath after that long-winded possession of several ground balls.
Good fight from Episcopal girls.
And now Sydney Gray wants another one. She'll get another opportunity, but too much. And Kincaid.
Oh, that was a great look, but that did not make it through. But it's going to don't want to jinx
stay
anything.
in bounds, perhaps, please, maybe, no.
And it's going to stay Episcopal's ball.
Episcopal will retain possession. Ella Kim bringing it out for the Maroon. And that pass almost connected with Kincaid for a great shot on goal there. I have to imagine that would have gone in. And now McCulley up top. That change that you said earlier about bringing McCulley up towards the top side of the offensive side of the field definitely happened as Sydney Gray has replaced her down low. And Sydney will pass off to Kincaid. That connection they've been looking for finally comes together, but a shot opportunity isn't there, and a way high pass from Kincaid as she looks kind of injured there. Kind of exhausted maybe. And fouling Kincaid will leave her open, and she is close enough to the goal to go for a shot here, or she could toss it off to Lindley like she wanted to do there for a moment, and showing her stick is Lindley, and the ball gets knocked out of Kincaid's stick.
But I think that's going to be a shooting space call, which is a good call and something that we wanted. So the ball's going to stay with Kincaid, and I think she's going to make that shot.
I mean, both Bullis players converged there a little bit too close. Shouts from the Maroon side from parents there as Kincaid will get another shot and another shooting space foul. Bullis can just not stop Kincaid legally, and Kincaid will get another opportunity on shooting space.
They've got to do a lot to stop that girl.
I wonder if this repetition might get to Bullis and they might leave an opportunity on the left or right side, either for Sydney Gray. It looks like it might be for Sydney Gray. Could call this. Pass out to Sydney Gray. No! Shot from Kincaid goes, and the Maroon now score for their 5th time today. The score's now Bullis 11, the Maroon 5.
I mean, the mental state of getting on that line, I feel like there's so much pressure behind it. So the fact that Kincaid can get behind that line 3 times and still be able to capitalize on that situation, I think says so much about her as an athlete.
I agree with that statement, and 24.2 seconds remaining in this 3rd quarter as we come to a close. This quarter's been a lot more even than the first 2.
I mean, I'm going to say that this quarter has been Episcopal's quarter. These girls have really capitalized on the situations. I keep saying capitalized, but I feel like that's the best way to describe them.
I can't find any other word. Maybe if I had done my membing this week, I would have been able to figure out a different word for that. But Bullis capitalized on the errant pass there from the Maroon, and now they're on offense in the closing seconds. The Maroon are on their back foot here defensively, and a shot on goal will go. And Bullis celebrating with 6 seconds remaining in this 3rd quarter. And the Bullis parents and the players on the Bullis sideline, all 3 of them, are getting fired up. And 6 seconds for the Maroon to score, 6 seconds for an opportunity down low. And looks like the Maroon will just probably hold this one out after the draw here.
We have a lot of parents here for this game, as it is Episcopal's Parents Weekend tomorrow. So meetings with teachers, fun announcements going on, but we have a full student section of parents.
Full student section of parents. Love to hear it as the end of the 3rd quarter. And I'd like to remind you, you just said it's Parents Weekend, and tomorrow is Friday Night Lights at 6:30. The EHS Live will cover the boys varsity lacrosse game where the Maroon take on St. Albans in an intense matchup between those 2 teams, which have a lot of skill. You'll have a full student section, a great theme of, I believe it's Preppy 2016. Interesting to see how that'll shape out. Boys varsity lacrosse got a little bit early today. Coach Conklin's to my right, and he's been preparing a lot for this game. Very detailed scouting report got sent to the players. They're definitely going to take advantage of that, and it's going to be curious to see how that game shakes out tomorrow night. Calling the game will be myself, Jay Sigler, and Brady Hopkins, the sideline reporter for today, and Julia will go down to the sideline. It's going to be a lot of good interviews and a lot of great commentary between all of us, and a lot of great work from the sports media crew. Speaking of the sports media crew, I'd like to thank this entire team, from the camera operators, directors, and graphics team. That would be Ryan Gallagher and Margie directing, Eliza Hicks, Marin Condre, Nobles Press, Josie Rogers on the camera, myself, Julia Caulfield, Brady Hopkins, and Min Nguyen as the broadcasters, and Wiley Sloan as the special operations and photographer, and the outside staff. Of course, Coach David helped facilitate this wonderful broadcast, which we have the privilege of bringing to you for almost every home game. Welcome back for this fourth quarter of this matchup between the Maroon and the Bullis Bulldogs, as the student section begins to fill with the boys varsity lacrosse players who just got out of practice. And Kincaid will win the first draw for the Maroon, and the Maroon will bring the ball down past the offensive restraining line. And a temporary stoppage in play for a moment, but the Maroon restart play now, and resetting back at X is Episcopal, and McCulley now looking for something in towards the goal. Lots of cutting from the Maroon. Someone's bound to be open, but no one there. Kincaid Goodwin now in control. She likes her matchup, but she'll shovel it off towards, I believe, Julia Rock, and she will look for something now, but she won't find anything. This sliding and this help for Bullis has been really good so far. As a shot inside for Kincaid will go. Kincaid Goodwin, top shelf once again. Great shot there from Kincaid. With 11 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter, the Maroon have halved the lead of Bullis. It's now 6. And the Maroon have stolen back the momentum in this opening part of the fourth quarter. And a great goal there from Kincaid.
That was an amazing goal there from Kincaid. I really do think the energy from the student section really affects how players play. I mean, it's gotten them all pumped up. I see so much energy from the offense. And I'm really excited to see how they take advantage of this energy going forward. I mean, Gracie is speedy. I mean, everyone's going 100%, it feels like right now.
Yeah, the Maroon are frantically trying to get back into this one before it's too late. And, you know, it's definitely not too late right now with the amount of momentum that the Maroon have. I mean, it's hard to imagine that they're still out of this one, or that they're out of this one, as Ella Kim now is in possession, and she'll bring it down towards the goal. I mean, she had a one-on-one matchup there for a moment, but you saw the great help there from Bullis start to close off that opportunity, and the Maroon have to slow down once again. Could Kincaid look for her third goal today? I believe it's in the cards, but we'll have to see. And McCulley now in possession. Ball checked out of her stick. And it'll stay on the Maroon side.
I mean, I really feel like McCulley's going to capitalize on this situation.
McCulley
she's going to look
looks
for
inside to Sydney. Sydney with a shot. She'll score. Sydney Gray, top shelf. The Maroon have been finding the top of the goal lately, and it's been working. The Maroon now trail Bullis by a mere...
I mean, that was an amazing play from Episcopal girls. Great look from McCulley Vaughn and great shot from Sydney. They really capitalized on this whole cutting, passing thing that we've kind of been lacking in the beginning of the game, but it's looking up right now.
The Maroon have brought it back together. I don't know what adjustments were made over that break in between the third and the fourth quarter, but they certainly worked as the Maroon scored 2 goals in quick succession. Bullis now, the ones that need to catch up momentum-wise.
Sydney Gray's ball, that was an amazing draw from her, and over to Kincaid. That's an amazing duo. I mean, they're both extremely athletic, and they actually look a lot alike. I keep getting confused who's who, and one's 13 and one's 12, so both amazing athletes.
Doesn't really help that they're both very similar numerically, as Lindley now is in possession. She likes her matchup, and the help will kick her back outside from Bullis, and the Maroon have been applying the pressure. And looking inside is Sydney Gray, back to Kincaid. The chemistry between those two is amazing so far, and a call.
I feel like we're going to get a ball with Lindley. I feel like we're going to get a goal from her. We've missed that this game, but she's got the energy. She's fired up. We just got to get a good look to her. But they really have these girls tight on Lindley.
I agree. Could we get a ball out to Lindley here, or will Kincaid try and go score? It looks like she's hungry for the goal. And Kincaid will take a shot on goal, but a great save there from Bullis, from the Bullis goalie. And Bullis now coming back on the offensive side of the field for the first time in this quarter. And number 6 crosses up AP Bryan, but resetting back at X is Bullis. Now, if the Maroon could get a turnover here, that would be great. And they could get back on the offensive side of the field. And it would be key in keeping control of this game.
We see the offense is fired up. Let's see if the defense has that same exact energy and momentum. I see it from Gracie. I mean, she's being loud. She's making noise. I wonder if the rest of the girls are going to follow right about now.
I have to imagine they will. I mean, after those 2 goals, it has to have injected some sort of adrenaline or momentum into their veins. And Bullis is definitely feeling it. They've slowed down. Not as many cuts from them as you normally see. And Bullis still staying up top. Not really going at X. And a few more cuts. And a pass inside. Doesn't go. Doesn't connect. And a very physical check. That looked like a boys varsity lacrosse check right there.
I mean,
boys check.
but Winnie's back up. She is tough. I mean, that was an amazing ball from her. Unfortunately, she just got pushed to the ground, but she's back. And that was extremely illegal, I'd like to say.
And that is the first time we'll see a player go in the penalty box today, and rightfully so. I mean, that was very flagrant. It's definitely got a heart with no pads.
I think a little unnecessary as well.
I mean, I agree that was completely unnecessary. Don't know what you were aiming for there. It doesn't even the stick wasn't even.
I mean, we got J-Rock. She's got that ball, and she is speeding down that field. Oh, that was a tough pass.
Ball just sails over.
But I wonder if. I feel like the girls are not going to let this get past the 50. Let's stop it where it is. We have the ability.
And the ball goes to the maroon on a violation there, or could we see some miscommunication? No, the ball goes to the maroon on a violation from Bullis, and that is exactly what the maroon wanted, getting a man-up offensive possession, and looking inside is Sydney, but could she get it? Kincaid? Kincaid wants it. Kincaid gets it. Kincaid can't get a shot off though.
And that was another, I think, that was another hard push from Bullis. I mean, I don't know what they're going with, but this has only helped us and hurt them. I feel like throughout this entire game, we've seen too much aggression from Bullis, which is unnecessary. So I'm liking that Episcopal is getting justice for all of this.
And Kincaid, shot on goal, goes Kincaid, completes the hat trick today. And the Maroon are now down by 4 with 6 minutes and 44 seconds remaining. A game that seemed out of reach is now within grasp.
I do not want to jinx this, but this is Episcopal's half. I feel like the energy is so lively, and I think this...
Just knocking on wood there.
Oh, sorry. I did not know what you were trying to say there, but I am really excited to see what happens. I mean, the goals that have been scored so far have been amazing goals. Kincaid's been killing it, so... But she would not be able to without the help of her fellow teammates. This has been such a team half. I mean, everyone is working together. Everyone is communicating. Everyone is working hard for the player next to them. And I feel like that's such a good example of what Episcopal lacrosse is for both girls and guys.
And another win there on the draw for Sydney Gray. She's been on fire in this fourth quarter. And the Maroon have really worked together well, as you said, as a team. And that is exactly what Coach Crydell and Coach Boyon wanted to see. That's what they were emphasizing on practice yesterday, and it's all come together so far in this fourth quarter. And like you said, I don't want to jinx it, but the Maroon have been doing well. And another pass to Kincaid, another flagrant check there, and the boys varsity lacrosse team is not having it. Hands on their head, exclaiming. And I have to agree with them. That was another flagrant foul there. And the Maroon now, Kincaid, with I believe this might be her 5th or 6th opportunity to score on some sort of foul.
I mean, Bullis has really got to get there.
And a shot on goal goes for Kincaid.
I mean, amazing goal. She takes advantage of all of these opportunities, and every one-on-one with the goalie has come in her favor. She is absolutely killing it, and she is a player that you do not want to see on that line when you are playing against her.
And now I'm thinking back to the movie Jurassic Park, where there's a scene with 2 people in a Jeep, and Tyrannosaurus Rex is chasing them down, and it seems like the Maroon is the Tyrannosaurus Rex and Bullis is the Jeep, as the Maroon have come back with 6 goals in this third and fourth quarter to close the lead down to 3. And this game is getting ever closer.
I needed to stand up for this one. I've been sitting this entire game, but I mean, I am locked in. This is an intense game, but even if the score does not end with Episcopal in lead, they've still worked so incredibly hard, and I know that Coach Boyam, Coach Crydell, and all the other coaches are so proud of this team, and that they are all extremely proud of each other.
And as you said, that Kincaid makes a gritty play there, picking up that ground ball.
Jarek has got that ball. I feel like they're going to make it down to Macaulay, settle in, and then hopefully run some type of ISO, some type of play. I think we're going to get something from Lindley coming soon. I just feel it in my bones.
We've been missing her all game, and would love to see.
But she's very much
goal.
behind the scenes. We haven't exactly seen her, but we know that she's behind the scenes and she's behind all these amazing goals and this incredible uprising. Oh my gosh, look at this caterpillar. We have an entire little zoo over here on our table. Different type of species that I've never heard about, but thanks to Brady last game, he is on top of that stuff.
Active member in the biological community is Brady. He knows a lot about the local ecosystem near Episcopal, I guess. And the Maroon look inside, and the ball gets knocked out of the stick of Sydney Gray, but Ella Kim is there to recover, but a call on the Maroon gives the ball back to Bullis. And I would love to see the Maroon get into double digits here in the closing minutes of this fourth quarter.
Macaulay is killing that defense. She is not letting that ball go.
And the student section making noise as Bullis will have to call a timeout to talk it over. And I have to imagine we'll hear the talk it over chants come from the student section in a moment to up the intensity and the pressure on this Bullis team. Julia, what do you see this Maroon team doing on offense to score these last 3 times to tie it up in this final few minutes?
I think they're going to talk about not rushing anything. I mean, we have upset Bullis in so many ways, and we're seeing that through their pushes and through the calls that are going against them. So I feel like all we need to do is play the game that we're meant to play, settle it down, maybe run a few cuts, and at the end of the day, it's going to end up being our ball. We'll probably get another shooting space coming up soon. So I think they just have to stay consistent. No more rushing passes. Don't pass until you know it's going to land somewhere. But also being there to catch those balls that fall on the floor and being the first ones there.
Like you said, ground balls are definitely crucial because any sort of time that you have in possession is key. You know, only 4 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in regulation, a 3-goal difference. You know, 3 goals can be made in a minute, 30 seconds. It can be made in a minute. It can be made in 4 minutes. You never know. And the amount of time you spend in possession dictates your chances on coming back, and the Maroon definitely need to have control of the ball more often than Bullis will have control of the ball in these final few minutes. Now, Julia, what do you think Bullis is thinking right now in their huddle?
I'd be freaking out right now. I bet their coach is definitely like, we got to get our momentum back. We got to stay consistent. I think they're really just trying to hype up the team, maybe get them into a better headspace, don't freak them out. Because I think this might just be rushed. I think they might be overwhelmed and rushing. So I feel like they're just going to try and kind of bring it back, understand that they have the skill and they have the ability to win this game. But so does Episcopal, and Episcopal is clearly capitalizing on that opportunity more than Bullis at the moment.
I just want to highlight the defense for the Maroon right now. I mean, the likes of Claire Walsh, AP Bryan, and Catherine Morrison have been doing a great job on the defensive side, locking down Bullis in this fourth quarter and allowing the Episcopal offense to come back.
I mean, Lindley has wheels. She is not letting that girl go. She is, she's incredible. She is so fast, and that works out in her favor because it is now her ball. And
Lindley, speed is her main attribute along with her shot placement, and we're seeing it right there. I mean, that speed to chase down and then make that great check and recover there was amazing. And now,
and the Episcopal, and that's going to be Episcopal's ball as we have yet another call from Bullis.
And the ball's intercepted by Bullis. Coach Boyum wanted a more flagrant call there, and the ball is looking to fall, and Maroon triple team there for a moment, but doesn't work out. And Bullis now will settle in on offense with 79 seconds to score. That won't quite take off enough time on the clock to completely shut this game out, but it'll definitely significantly lower the chances of the Maroon coming back. And I have to imagine that they're going to take a less aggressive stance here and try and just toss the ball around to chew as much clock as possible. And that's what I'm hearing from the Bulls coach right now. Unless they try to take a shot in the final few seconds, it seems like they're just going to toss the ball around to eat up as much time as possible. A few cuts inside, but nothing major. Great defense there from Kincaid as Bullis will toss it back down. Under goal unextended. Gracie Buxton now on a one-on-one. She gets beat, and the ball goes in the goal for the Maroon.
That's going to be a goal for Bullis.
It's a killer for the Maroon.
That was an amazing play from Bullis. I mean, they've really pushed aside this uprising from Episcopal and were able to play the game that they have been playing. So we got to give it to them. But that was an amazing shot, and that was extremely skillful, and that was not just off luck. So that was tough for Murray, but, you know, I think Episcopal is not going to let that get into their head, and they're going to keep playing the game that we've seen them play.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And 3 minutes remain in this fourth quarter and in regulation. And the gap now is 4. Not impossible, but a little bit improbable, but we'll see what the Maroon can do. We've seen them on a roll offensively so far in this fourth quarter. So I have to imagine that they still have that skill that they showed off in the beginning parts and the middle parts of this quarter. So let's see what the Maroon can do. Is Kincaid will take a face-off for one of the first times today. And unfortunately, the Maroon will lose that face-off. And that is a free 90 seconds that Bullis can have to take off the clock.
I mean, the ball's with 6, and every time the ball has been with 6, unfortunately, there has been a goal because she's a phenomenal player. And now the ball's at 18, another phenomenal player. So I wonder how this is going to go. I feel like Episcopal really just, we got to kind of keep calm, have confidence in ourselves, and this game's going to end how we want it to end. Sorry, the heat's really getting to me.
It is very, very hot.
And this caterpillar.
And now with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, 55 seconds to score, Bullis is turning up the heat offensively, and they score. Number 10 for Bullis, who's been taking the face-offs all day, hasn't got a lot of recognition, finally gets some there, scores for Bullis. And the score is now 14-9. Episcopal, who had that comeback on the way, now seems a little bit more out of reach than it was only a few minutes ago, as 2 quick scores for Bullis kind of closes this one out, unfortunately. 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in this game, and the Maroon now will head to their next draw. As we see the Bullis, I believe, JV team beginning to trickle in and come across. They've been warming up on the towards the locker rooms for the Maroon on the right side of the field, and they're getting ready for their game against the girls junior varsity team. And now the Maroon have won that
J-Rock,
face-off.
one-handed cradle making her way down. We have seen nothing but amazing movement from her. Let's see what Episcopal does with this.
Maroon going to need a quick shot on goal here if they want a chance. And McCulley wants that shot, but she won't find it. She's looking inside, but nothing there. She'll kick it back out. And minute 45 now. Maroon in crunch time down at X is Sydney Gray. And now the Maroon kind of stagnant on offense. Great dodge there from Sydney. A shot on goal. She will score. Top right corner for Sydney Gray.
That was an amazing goal from Sydney.
Shot. Great sequence. Great dodge.
An amazing movement from the offense team. I mean, they really made it happen for her. They moved around. They stayed open, and they got her that pass. So that was an amazing team effort from Episcopal.
1 minute and 30 seconds about remaining. 4 goals separate the Maroon and Bullis. And if the Maroon can quickly score 4 more, we might have a game on our hands. Now, I believe, I don't know about you, Julia, but I believe in this Maroon team to come back and score in these final few minutes.
I mean, or at least believe in them to play the game, at least maintain the ball, or not let any goals in, because they've really played such an amazing game this past half.
I agree. They deserve the air horn. Don't know what that was about. And with our scores table blow the horn there for a moment. And curious to see what's being sorted out here. And seems like maybe the Maroon called timeout when they got initial possession, and the Maroon will now be in control. And passing it off to Sydney Gray. That ball doesn't connect. That might go out of bounds. Kincaid's trying to stop it, though, and she will be successful. Great play from Kincaid there. A lot of hustle. Minute 10 seconds remaining And I certainly believe the Maroon deserve to get a couple more goals at least.
I mean, J-Rock's going to push through.
Lindley, who's been looking for a goal all game, passes it down towards X. And now McCulley back with the ball once again, cutting across to Sydney Gray. She was calling for the ball. Frustrated she didn't get it. Ball knocked out of the stick of McCulley. And 45 seconds remaining, and that ball will go to Bullis. And I believe this will be the end of this matchup. Hard fought, but the ball is knocked out of the stick. And a shot on goal.
That was an amazing play from Episcopal and an amazing play from Macaulay Vaughn. She does not let that ball go, and if she loses it, you cannot believe that Bullis is going to keep it. I mean, she's the last player you want to take the ball from, her and Gracie Buxton, because they will do whatever they can to make sure that that ball comes back to them and that they get that play.
Sydney Gray and Macaulay Vaughn not giving up on that last clear, and the Maroon closed this game in back to 3 goals. And great play there, knocking down the pass and then dishing it up top to the open goal because the goalie was behind the net, was not within the crease, and looks like a violation on the Maroon. We'll give the ball back to Bullis. Curious to see if Bullis will score here. I find it hard to imagine that they will try. Just out of being good sportsmen. Ball knocked out of the stick by Gracie Buxton, but recovered by Bullis. And 20 seconds remaining as the Maroon are trying to play this last bit of defense to try and get one more chance to score.
This defense is really strong from Episcopal right now. They've done an amazing job, especially under so much pressure. Let's see if they can keep up. I mean, Kincaid is not going to let that slide.
And it looks like they're trying to score. And a great save there from Arade will end this game as the two teams go out to greet their goalies. Great effort from both teams. The Maroon fall to Bullis, unfortunately, by 3 goals. The score is Bullis 14, the Maroon 11. Thank you for joining us on EHS Live. And remember, tomorrow's game, Friday Night Lights, at 6:30 in the Bowl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And great job.